In preparation to create this sharing, I reminisce through 2012 notes from Science of Mind classes and workshops. It's the same realizations and treatments and lessons, and that's love yourself, Jana. Accept yourself. Be vulnerable. You are always safe. You are loved. You are always supported. Maybe we are just healing the same wounds over and over again. I read my final paper from Science of Mind 201, and it could have been the same today. That deep loneliness and lack of belonging I carry from my childhood is something I will be healing across my lifespan, along with standing in my power and using my voice, because damn it, my opinion does matter. Maybe we will always be discovering old defense mechanisms that were once useful in protecting ourselves, and we have to continually create new patterns in order to create new ways of being. I know that authenticity is something I value, and I need to learn to make peace with those that don't have the same values as me. I want to stay in the ring and fight for my wholeness and show up for myself, because by doing that, I show up for everyone I love. As for my life purpose, the biggest thing I can do is get out of my own way, and for now, I will borrow Oprah's life purpose statement until I can get one of my own. And that's, use me, God. Show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself. Perhaps my purpose in life right now is to get out of my way. My predicament reminds me of the Marianne Williamson quote, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are so powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." When I think about my growth, I realize I came into Prac at war with myself. Within my mind were conversations of shame and regret and trauma and pain, because I longed for a prior self, a self that existed before 4-14-14. And for dramatic effect, you should know that since I was 4 years old, my lucky numbers have been 4 and 14. But I digress. You see, somewhere after this day, my son's diagnosis, I became this other person. It's true, after reading my past work, I would say it maybe started around 2015. My prior self was light and joyful and unburdened for the most part, or at least that's how I remember it, but the mind remembers what it wants to. Today, there is a heaviness that one only knows from overcoming great loss and relentless fear. You can see the battle wounds in the deep lines of my face and the patches of gray hair. I look like I've aged 20 years in a matter of 5. My smile is different. Photos cannot hide our heaviness. It was challenging coming back to Mile High with this new version of self. I've been through the process of finding meaning in my son's diagnosis. I have more compassion. I understand the power of allowing ourselves to walk through the dark night of the soul, and I can be a beneficial presence for people in pain. But what I wasn't ready to let go of was this old idea of myself. More than anything, I wanted you all to know that person. I thought I missed all of my people I originally participated in the classes and workshops with. But what I really missed was this idea of who I used to be. But you know, I've come to really like this new Jana. She has more empathy, and she's understanding more about grief than she ever did before. The complexity of it and how it doesn't always just show up in the death of a person, but sometimes it's a loss in identity. This new version is raw and it's authentic and it's brutally honest at times and a little out there. She's been through the dark and the dirty, and she comes out like a ray of freaking sunshine. I wonder if this new version doesn't fit in with the Mile High culture, and it's something I sit with. But the importance for me is showing up authentically and letting go of the notion of fitting in. Much of this class was about finding my voice and my power again within this church community and maybe the bigger world. Coming back to Mile High has forced me to face a lot of my demons, and with that, I've learned what Mile High is for me. It's a place where I cannot hide from my truth. Maybe that's why it can be so hard to be here when you're in so much pain. Either way, I'm super freaking grateful to have a place like that. I've learned to accept myself no matter where I am on my journey, because when I'm going through the muck, keeping love for oneself is the only way to come out whole on the other side. After these 8 months, I remember that it is all about the daily practice, not the classes or the books or the papers or the workshops or the speakers and authors. Those are supplemental, but what I really need is inside of me. And to really see that, I have to sit with myself and God every day and feel that oneness with the spirit of life and know that I am connected to that. That is how powerful I am. Whether it's for 5 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, that connection allows me to go through the day and consciously weed that garden of my mind. And therein lies choice. To attach to thought or let it go. I can choose to accept myself, and then I can accept others. It all comes down to the basic principles, kind of like Coach Wooden teaching those kids how to tie their shoes. It's the daily activities. For me, the basic principle is being in communion with myself and God. So yeah, we did a lot of exercises and meditations and reading and healing and practicing prayer. And they were helpful, but the most important and powerful thing was that spiritual practice. So may I start each day with that and learn to carry that power of presence throughout my day. And yeah, I miss some of the old people that knew the old me, but this new version is pretty badass. I'm grateful to have you all and be on this journey. I want you to know I'm all in. I see you, I love you, and I'm all heart. See you in Prac 2. Peace.